If you've been stuck in habitual cycles of trauma, addiction, or just sin that you can't break free from, this is for you.
You are now listening to Sonship University.
Hey everybody, I'm Jacka Singletary, a co-founder of Sonship University, which is a ministry that I founded with my husband JT Singletary, where we just strive to help believers of Jesus become fourth ground 100-fold disciples. And today we're going to talk about iniquity. And iniquity is something that functions like programming, both spiritually and biologically and neurochemically. I just wanted to break down why it's important to rewire the subconscious mind, because even when you think that you're just logically making decisions, like there's literally genetic, neurochemical, spiritual components that have been programmed into you that is in your subconscious mind that is affecting and guiding the way that you make decisions. And if you're just going about your business and not dealing with that stuff, you could be doing stuff and you have no idea why. And then when things happen, it's just like, oh my gosh, like how did this happen? But it's literally been programmed into you. So one of the things with iniquity is that iniquity is something that can be passed down epigenetically. So what that means, like if you see cycles of, or if you even experience it in your own life where it's just like, okay, there's like 3 to 4 generations, like your grandma, your mom, you struggle with like depression or like anger issues, or there's lust problems in the family. Great example of this is Ernest Hemingway. It's really awful. His family had like a history of suicide. Like his father killed himself, he killed himself, his siblings also killed themselves, and I believe like maybe someone in the next generation also killed themselves. And he even said one time that he was gonna die like how his father died. So iniquity is actually like a really big deal, especially when we see it generationally. And we see this play out in the Bible. God says that when he's talking to Israel, how sin can travel and affect like even down to the 3rd and the 4th generations. That is a pattern of iniquity. Now what that does neurochemically with iniquity, it actually, as you continue to sin habitually, this actually strengthens what we call your neural pathways. And at these points, at these junctures called synapses, it actually like creates like a stronghold mentally because it like cements it. And what this does is it creates this like cycle of where when you commit this iniquity, it actually causes like a dopamine surge in your body, which like makes you feel good like in the moment. But then after, there is a spike in cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which then kind of fuels these feelings of guilt and these feelings of shame. I know a lot of believers can kind of feel this tug and this pull, and it's just a time of renewal. It is a time of really crossing over. Right now, it is a big threshold moment. It's a kairos moment, divine intervention where God is trying to do some really big things. But one of the things that God impressed upon me is that he does not want us carrying iniquity into this threshold. Satan would love it if we did. Anytime you've seen like a leader and it's just like, oh my gosh, like they're so amazing. They brought so many people to Christ. They were able to do so many like magnificent things for God, but then they fall and you're like, man, what happened? A lot of times what happens is they didn't deal with iniquity before they crossed that threshold into their next season. So as God wants you to cross over into this next season, he does not want you to bring this stuff with you. In fact, for some of you, if you're truly just committed to just being like fully obedient and doing it God's way, you won't cross the threshold. And like the Israelites in the wilderness, you'll just die there. They had a lot of iniquity issues, but we can be no better. So in this season, in this crossing over moment, in this threshold moment where God is wanting believers to really step into their assignment, first, he wants us to deal with the iniquity. He wants us to deal with this programming that has been programmed into us from birth, even before birth, generationally, and be deprogrammed from the enemy's programming. And again, there's 3 enemies of our souls. There is Satan, the world, and there is the flesh. And God wants us to be deprogrammed from all of it and only be programmed to his righteous programming. So that is why it is important to deal with the iniquity, because if you bring that over and that crosses over into the next season, it's like DNA. If you keep copying DNA that has errors in it, it's just going to continue to compound. The same thing with like a computer program. If a computer program has errors in its source code, literally everything will be dysfunctional. And so like it might technically like it works, but like it doesn't function the way that it was designed to function. And the same is true for us. So God is really kind of tired of people crossing over. They might have a genuine zeal for God. Some people, they're just like, oh, just use me, God. But it's just like, God is tired of just using people. He doesn't just want to use you. Like, he wants you to look like him.